ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पता न शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वते नमो नित्यम्। भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेदवेदान्तवेदाङ्ग विद्यास्थानेभ्यः च सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिं। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अभाललोचनः शम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We read sutras. अथातो ब्रह्म जिज्ञासा जन्माद्यस्य यतः शास्त्रयोनित्वात् तत्तु समन्वयात् ईक्षतेर्ना शब्दम् गौणश्चेन्नात्मशब्दात् तन्निष्ठस्य मोक्षोपदेशात् हेयत्वावचनाच्च स्वाप्ययात् गतिसामान्यात् श्रुतत्वाच्च आनन्दमयोऽभ्यासात् विकार शब्दान्येति चेन्न प्राचुर्यात् तद्हेतु व्यपदेशाच्च मान्त्रवर्णिकमेव च गीयते नेतरोनुपपत्तेः भेद व्यपदेशाच्च कस्माच्च नानुपेक्षा कामाच्च नानुमानापेक्षा कामाच्च नानुमानापेक्षा We were seeing this sutra yesterday, and in this sutra what we had seen, kamacha na anuman apeksha. So here, if you remember, the anuman is the anuman of the Purupaksh, inference made by the Purupaksh. What is the anuman? Anandmaya Panchamastatvat. He compared the Bhriguvalli Anand and the Brahmanand Anand. So in the Brahmanand Valli, the Anand has come after Vijnanmaya Kosh, and it has the fifth position, not the fifth Anuvak. I'm repeating it. So, this is said that after the four koshas, in the Brahmanand Valli, the Anand has come, and after the four koshas, the Anand has come in the Bhriguvalli also, and this is called Panchamastatvat. This is his Anuman. And second thing what he said is that it has come after Vijnanmaya Kosh. And there it is said, Anandam Brahmano Vijnanat. So he says that know this Anand to be Brahman. And therefore, I have this Anuman that this Anand is same as Brahman because of the word used as the Anando Brahma Vijanat. So here Sutrakar says, Na Anumana Preksha. Don't think this is your right Anuman. Your Anuman is wrong. Your possibility of equating the Anand at both the places is wrong. Imartham Kamat. So here he uses the Hetu called Kamats. What is the meaning of Kamat here? Here Kam word means Ananda. So Kamyate iti Kamaha. This is called Karma Vyutpatti. So what do you mean by that? The Anand which is used by Purupaksha, the example, is not right here. Why? Because the Bhriguvalli Kam is different. This Anandmaya here is different. What is the difference here? Drishtant is Visham because of the Mayat Pratyay used in the Brahmanand Valli. So this Anandmaya is Savikari Anand. And the Anand, not May, Anand without May, in the Bhriguvalli is Nirvikar Anand. It is Nirvikar Chaitanya. This is what we had seen yesterday. So what you saw, and ultimately we saw that the Anand word is used for the consciousness in the Bhrigu. Why the Anand word is used? Whenever the word Anand is used for Brahman, it is better to be careful, because generally Anand we translate as joy, bliss, ecstasy. So this translation which is done, I have no problem in doing it, provided you know what is the meaning of that, which people don't know. They use the word, but they are missing the meaning of the word in that particular context. The problem is, if you use the word bliss or Anand for the self, that self is of the nature of joy, because Satchidanand word has been mentioned here. The mind has a tendency that Anand becomes something else than yourself. So mind has a tendency to have a sense of attaining that Anand. It is not knowing the Anand. It is attaining the Anand. This is the trick there. When you say joy is there, so always we feel, okay, this joy is not there, I have to do something to attain that Anand. So in the context of the Atma being told as Anand word, it is safe to use the word Anand for the Anand translation. So when you will use the word Anand, the tendency will not be to postpone it at some desh and kal. So Anand is not in some else other desh and kal. So this is a little. And therefore Gita has also used the word Sukham Atyantikam Yattat. So Atyantik means that Sukh which is unlimited, which is Anand. So Gita has cautiously used the word Atyantikam. Buddhi Grahya means Chaitanya, not the object of Buddhi. Atindriyam. See the word there. What? Atindriyam means man also, which is not the object of mind and not the object of sense organ. So that is Sukhen Brahma Samsparsham Atyantam Sukham Ashnute. So there Brahma Gyan has been mentioned as Sukh. The knowledge of Brahman has been mentioned as Sukh, which ordinary person will not comprehend. So in Vedanta, when the Sukh word has been used or the Anand has been used, please know that it is not the Pratibimbanand, the Anand which is reflected in the body or the sense organ or the mind. Rather it is Nirvikar Bimbanand. It is not the Anand that we feel he is very joyous, he is very smiling person. He is very, carefree. This is all okay. But that does not mean he has the knowledge of the self. Somebody can be cheerful, somebody can be joyous, somebody can be happy-go-luck, or somebody can be very, by nature he is very happy. All is, I agree with that. But that is not what is the Upanishad is talking of here. Okay, so we are very habituated to thinking joy, bliss. I'm in joy right now. I'm in bliss right now. Or he is in, his prarabdha is very good. His house is very good. Right? He has a very good wife, family, father, mother, children. We see somebody, we say he's in happy days are there. Punyashali person. We equate that. We have only known that meaning of Anand. And when Upanishads ask, talking about Satchidanand, the Brahman is there, Raso Vaisa, immediately our mind has that Samya only. And therefore, some of the teachers of Vedanta avoid using the word strictly, they avoid using the word bliss for Anand. This, I won't use this word joy, bliss. I'm not so hard, but I'm just saying be careful. They say, no, I won't use the word Anand. They don't translate only it as Anand. They just, I will not translate as joy. I'll translate as infinite only. If you don't want to be very rigid. So, because world will not understand this point. Ordinary person will not understand this point. So you can translate if you want, but be very, very careful, because mind is such a thing. With the word, it can interpret it as something else, or you can know that when you say, Atma is of the nature of knowledge. Immediately mind doesn't go out after that. Mind goes inside. So which word you are using is very important in training the mind. So if I say, Atma is of the nature of knowledge, which does not have knower and known. Now any person will become little Vedanta has heard, he can charm, then he can go inside. Because we know that knowledge is not, without knower and known, knowledge is not existing in the world. Or Atma is of the nature of pure existence. And this is what is a pure existence is there. But when we say Atma is of the nature of Anand, we feel it's full Anand is there, lot of Anand is there. This is another point. That one who has established in the self, in his mind, there is lot of Anand. This is another point. Please get this point as well. In his mind, there is infinite lot of Anand because the mind is very pure. And he is seeing himself in everything. But that reflected Anand also will be little vikari. Because he will also see something sad, he will also see something not very good. So at his mental level, his Anand will never be same. He will also see something or hear something which is not conducive. So do you think he will have Anand only at his mental level? I don't think so. At mental level you can see he is also not. But his nirvikar Anand, the Gyan will remain even after seeing the Dukh outside. And therefore Mandukya, how he defines Anand? Swastham. The Mandukya, you can go and see where this verse comes. Swastham, Shantam. Dekho, Swastham word is there. Swastham means Swasmin Sthitam, which is of the nature of swell. Swastham, Shantam, As Anirvana means which is not based of the vasanas. It is not, we are Anand because something is as per our vasana. Sanirvanam. Third. Fourth. Ekagra. Akathyam. Not ekagra. Akathyam. It cannot be objectified. Don't forget, I had told this. See the meaning of the Anand that we think an Anand which is Upanishad is indicating it. Loose translation is joy, ecstasy for the self. Because these are fluctuating Anand. So better you be careful about what has to be said. So Anand is here asadhyam. It is Siddhanand. This Anand, when you say joy, etc., is sadhyam. But this Anand, when you say Anantam, or it is Akathyam, or it is Swastham, it is Siddha Anand and not Sadhya Anand. Okay, I hope this is clear. That means it is Aparichin Atyantik Anand. So let us conclude this. In Brahmanandavalli, the Anand of the Anandamaya is happiness. But in Bhriguvalli, the Anand is Anantam, is wholeness and not happiness. And therefore both the Anand cannot be quitted. Okay. So therefore, na anumana peksha. What you are comparing, that is not right. Kamat, because of the different nature of Anand. So this is called counter anuman. How will you say counter anuman? Anandmaya na brahma savikaratvat. That Anandmaya is not Brahman because of its modification. Annamayavat. फिर से बोले आनंदमय न ब्रह्म सविकारत्वात्. This is the Vedantis telling to the Purupaksh. Annamayavat. Annamayavat. Okay. I hope you are now clear about this. So Kamat na Kamat. So whole sutra is, what is the whole sutra? Kamacha na anumana peksha. How we did that? Anumana peksha na kamat. We have reshuffled the whole sutra. Anumana peksha na sambhavati kamat. Because it is anandmayatvat. Kamat means anandmayatvat. And now last word comes, which you don't want to hear, is chakar. This chakar is not going to leave you. How much you want to leave it, but it won't leave you. Now please see, there's a catch here. What is the catch? To interpret the chakar, some sub-commentators said that there is one point here. What is your point here? Only this sutra should also be interpreted in one more way. The one interpretation is so difficult to understand. No, not difficult to understand. You go to Ikshatyadhikaran. What is the Ikshat? Well, I forgot. No, Ikshatyadhikaran, you must have remembered that it was mentioned in Ikshatyadhikaran that Satvastu of Sadev Swamidam Agriyasit is Chetan Brahma and not a Chetan Pradhan. This, we had a lot of discussions. It should not be any new thing. I'm not talking. So consciousness is the cause of the universe and not the matter, as per the Sankhya. And what was the reason? Ikshate. Because of the ikshanadan, visualization by Ishwar. Two causes were given. You can say by Ishwar. And that was mentioned here. Here, in this particular sutra, it is said here, one anumanam is there. So their anumanam was Satvastu na pradhanam ikshatitrat, ikshatrutvat. He is saying Here, this sutra is another sutra to support Ikshatyadhikaran as well. So we had 7 reasons in the Ikshatyadhikaran. This is the 8th reason also. What to support what? To say that Jagat Karan is not Achetan. What is the reason here? Kamacha. So here we are saying that Sadvastu is creating the world after desiring to create. There it was visualizing. Here it is desiring. What is the difference between visualization and desiring? Visualization is bringing in the mind. And desiring is to desire something. Well, how do you say? So kamyat bahusyam prajayeti sa tapotapyat sa tapastaptva. Well, what is the desire then? His desire is that punya pap of the jiva should be given the fruit. And therefore, desiring is possible only by the Chetan and not the Jad. So Sat Vastu only can desire. So here what the meaning of Kam? Kam should be taken as a desire and not Anandamaya. Second interpretation is there. So, Jagat Karanam Sat Shabdvachyam Brahma Kamat. So here Anumanam word is equal to Pradhanam. Because Sankhya uses the word Anumanam for Pradhanam. Because they have Anuman, because Pradhan, they think of Pradhan because of Anuman only. Okay. Got my point? So how will you say now? How will you say? Sat Shabdvachyam na Pradhanam Kamat. Sat Shabdvachyam na Anumanam. Anumanam in bracket Pradhanam. And Kamat, direct meaning, no vyutpatti, because of desiring. And therefore, Chakar word is used to add this sutra there. This Chakar word is used to add this sutra in Ikshatyadhikaran as well. So out of 7 reasons, this is one more reason, not out of that. In addition to 7 reasons, this is the 8th reason why the word Sat should mean Chetan Brahma and not the Achetan Pradhanam. This is the meaning, I hope. Simple meaning is there, just you have to be little careful. You will get it. And therefore, conclude, this is how a Chakar is interpreted. But main subject, what is going on, that Anandamaya is different than the Brahman. Anandamaya is not Brahman. Don't forget, 8 sutras are there. 8 sutras are there in this Anandamaya Prakarana. First 4 sutras said that Anand Brahman is Pradhanam. Then 2 sutras said that Anandamaya is not Pradhanam. The last 2 sutras said that Anandamaya is not Brahman. Main topic is this. This is just a by the way. So Chakar is interpreted by the way. Now let me go to the last sutra of this Prakaran. Please repeat after me. What is the sutra? Please repeat. Asminnasya cha tadyogam shasti. Which page is this? I was reading from here only. This is the 19th Sutra. Page 133. Asminnasya cha tadyogam shasti. Now, this is also to establish that Anandamaya is not Brahman. Okay. So let us now, I will give you a background and then we will go to the word meaning of this sutra. What is the background? Background क्या है इसका? What is the background? Background is very simple background. If you can catch the main thing, all sutras, it is very easy to understand. And if you don't catch the main thing, then you will go round and down and there will be no background. So, what is that now? There are two things. One is dissolver, other is dissolved. Dissolver and dissolved are two different things and never same. Bolina, I didn't understand. No, there is nothing great in that. What is the problem? If the salt is there and salt gets dissolved in the water, so water is dissolver and salt is dissolved. So dissolved salt and when water is two different things. Dissolver and dissolved are not same. Oh, this is very simple, I think. Give such example like salt, sugar. I like those examples. Something regarding eating example is very appealing to me. I don't understand Anandmaya Brahma as much as I know. So here, what will be said? Can you guess now? It will be said that Anandmaya will be resolved or dissolved in the Brahman. Resolved, both words I am using. Resolved or dissolved. Resolved word is better word. Better than dissolved. Resolve means going into unmanifestation. Resolved world, that world dissolves into the Brahman. That is means going on. In this deep sleep we go resolve into that. Why? Because it wants to reveal, Upanishad wants to reveal Brahman and as the Advait Brahman. Yandana, the Upanishad attention is not only tell about the Brahman, but Upanishad's attention is to tell about the non-dual Brahman. So, Advaita Brahma Pratipadanam eva Upanishadaha Prayojanam. So, to propound that Advait Brahma alone is there. And how does it? Why? Because Dvitiyad Vai Bhavai Bhayam Bhavati. Everywhere the duality has been censored. Mrityos mrityumapnoti ya iha nanev pashyati. Kathopanishad says that he goes from death to death. He did not say from birth to birth. Why? To create fear. Because we like birth, but we don't like death. So, but he says, Mrityu samrityum apnote yaya nanev pashyate. One who sees Nanaji. Nana means manyness. One who sees Nanaji, he goes from death to death. One who sees that two-ness is there. What is the two-ness? I exist separately, world is separate, Ishwar is separate. Therefore, Upanishad is bent. I am not using the word hell-bent. But Upanishad is bent on the point please don't see duality and please don't be reborn. Iha cheda vedita satyamasti. Na chedya vedita mahati vinashti. So Upanishad is constantly hammering this point, or drilling this point, that please don't be reborn. Because all your fruit of action will open for you. And if it opens for you, then you will have to suffer a lot. And therefore Upanishad tempts us. Jnana agni dagdha karmanam tamahu panditam vada. Yasya sarve samarambaha kama sankalpa varjitaha. Jnana agni dagdha karmanam tamahu panditam vada. By the fire of knowledge, all his actions are burned. Vetmi prarabdha agami, all sanchit. That means he has no prarabdha remaining after that. Only, but how is it possible? Only this is possible only when you know the Brahman as non-dual. Sarvam Brahmayam. We have to know that Brahman. What did Mundak say then? Mundak says, what did Brahma evamritam purastad Brahma praschad Brahma dakshinashchottarena. Well, in front of us also Brahman, at the back also is also Brahman. Right also is Brahman, left also is. Adhaschottarena Brahma prasratam vishwamidam varishtham. Well, the whole world is Brahman. This is the knowledge of the Upanishadic statement. So, attempt of the Upanishad is to establish the non-dual Brahman and not that Brahman which is Ishwar and different than Jeev. There is a difference between the other darshan and this Brahman. So, in the Brahman, everything resolves. Avyaktadini bhudani vyakta madhyani bharata. So, in the Brahman, everything avyaktad vyaktya sarva prabhavantya ragame. Well, everything is resolving in the Brahman. Yes. If everything is resolving, then Anandamaya is also resolving. This is the point here. And if Anandamaya is resolving, then how can the resolved one is same as the resolver now? This is the argument here. Oh, yes. Okay. Is Anandamaya will also resolve? Yes. And the Upanishad is talking about the Brahman in which there is no world. It is called the Brahman in which everything goes back. Mayyev sakalam jatam. Mayi sarvam pratishtitam. Mayi sarvam layam yati. Kaivalya says, in me everything goes back. But we are not talking about Kaivalya, we are talking about Taitri here. Okay, then Taitri also we can see that. What is the problem? Let us open the Brahmanandvalli of the Taitri Upanishad. See how important is Taitri. Now, if the Taitri Upanishad must have become more important for you. This is the purpose of Brahma Sutra, to make the Upanishad. Now see, 7th mantra, Brahmanandvalli. Yada he vaishaye tasmin adrishye anatme anurukte nilane bhayam pratishtham vindate ataso abhayam gato bhavati. Saw that? Yada. When the knowledge happens, this talks about the resolution of the world in the Brahman. Yada hi eva esha. Esha vindate etasmin. Etasmin means Brahmani. And what is this Brahman in which everything is revolved? See the word. So, please note, we are not talking about some outer resolution. It is a resolution by the knowledge. When you had known that ornaments are nothing but the gold, So you have resolved the ornaments into the gold. Mental, it is a intellectual knowledge of the cause. It is not something physical. It is a knowledge of the cause of the world. What is the knowledge of the cause? That this whole name and form is only word. There is no object existing. Only but I touch it is an object called desk. Are you are not touching a desk. You are touching the wood. But wood also is a form. No, you are not touching a wood. It is an earth element. You are touching an earth element. But earth is also a form. You are not touching a earth. It is a water element. You are touching a water. But water is also a form. You are not touching a water. You are touching a fire. But fire is also one form. You are not touching a fire. You are touching air. Because fire is non-separable from the air. You are not touching the air. You are touching the space. Space is also a form. You are not touching a space. You are touching the mind. And the mind is nothing but the self only. Then what do you conclude there? I am concluding that name and form are not there actually. It is only an appearance. You are only seeing the essence. You are seeing the superimposed. You are not seeing the substratum. New things are there. Get this point. Whenever you see a name and form, you are not seeing the substratum on which the name and form is seen. We are only seeing the discrete name and form. This is where sansar is there. When I see a person, we don't see a five element. And meditation is seeing the world as five element only. How do you see the effect without seeing the cause in it? But I see only a effect as a reality. And I told many times that there is nothing called name and form, which is mentioned as Vacharammanam Vikaro Namadeyam Mrittikaya Satyam. This is called resolving the name and form or the effect into its cause. This is where Vedanta is, all Vedanta is here only. This is why they make it so mithya, so easily they say, no, this is false. Because it is not there. Somebody is rich because of another person. So his richness is false. This body is seeing, but this body is not a dependent thing. It is just a earth element. So the shape that you see, that is your imagination. There is nothing called a shape. Supposing somebody is there, he only knows a gold. And he has not been tutored that this is necklace and this is earring and this is thing. He has never known what is it called. He has not been tutored. Because from childhood we have been said this is called necklace, this is earring, this is a bangle. And in front of him bangle is kept or the necklace is kept. And we ask him, okay, what is it? He will say it's gold. And then you will say, no, it's a bangle. He says, I don't know what you are talking about. He will say, no, it is only a gold. Supposing the same thing we are bringing it. Supposing somebody is there who only knows five elements. And he does not know, he has not at all seen, supposing various shapes. Supposing that this is called woman, this is man, this is donkey, this is elephant, this is camel, this is child. And he has not no knowledge about all these things, that this is what is it called, ant, and this is anti. He have not got. And in front of him, if we make child stand, woman stand, man stand, animal stand, dog stand, he will never say this is only 5 elements. So we have been cultured and tutored to give various new names to various forms. Actually, resolve it back. Resolving it back, you only discover it that it is not independently existing. Who? Name and form. And therefore they are mithya. I hope this resolution is intellectual process. And not a physical resolution. I just now give the example. No, somebody is putting on very good shirt, coat. You say no, he is rich because of his father-in-law. He doesn't earn money. He has no money. His father-in-law gives him money. So his appearance of richness is mithya, because he doesn't have any money of his own. If father-in-law goes away, then he is the same pauper. So this body is only because of the 5 elements. It doesn't have it. No form is there. There is no substance called form. Anything is real only when it can be existing independently of everything else. Okay. So there is no substance called form. Like sugar is one substance. We can say something called sugar is sweet. I can say, okay, this is substance. Substance means which can exist independently. There is no substance which does not need something else to prove its existence. That is called substance. And similarly, I give you another word. One word is called human being, or person word is there. If I say this person is there, Mr. XYZ, whatever his name may be, a person is not something you can figure it out. So gross body plus subtle body plus jiv plus consciousness, then all mixed together, then you say something is called a person. Only jiv is not called a person. Only atma is not called a person. And only body is also not called a person. Therefore, when a person dies, you say, no, person is no more, but body is there. But his body was not the person. Only his body has come. But that person is no more. So, whom you are calling a person? Person is not something independently existing entity. And similarly with everything in this world. You say a car word is there. Car is not a thing. Seat is there, bonnet is there, engine is there, outer structure is there. Then it will be called a car. So car is not an entity. It's not a substance. So any name and form is not a substance because you can't attain it independently. So mentally and intellectually, you dissolve the existence of name and form into its cause, called Panch Mahabhut, Panchmahabhut also won't exist. And you keep on going in the process of villain and you keep on doing, you will see only Satta is there. And this has been mentioned in Taittiriya. Yada hi eva esha etasmin. Etasmin. In this. And that is adrishye. Adrishye. Adrishya means there is no form there. Anatme. Here Atma doesn't mean self, object. Anirukte, which cannot be talked about. Then anilaye, anilayane, it is not the abode. One who dissolves in this, tada abhayam pratishtham vindate, then he becomes abhayam. So what do you want to say? Ghatasya vastivik satta nasti. So jnanena ghatasya mridi pravilapanam. You are doing this process of pravilapanam by knowledge, intellectually. So ghatasya vastvik satta nasti, jnanena ghatasya mridi pravilapanam kuryat. Tadvat, in the same manner, jagata vastvik satta nasti. Then what do you say? Jagata sadi pravilapanam or brahmani pravilapanam kuryat. And when you dissolve everything, then Anandmaya will also go away. This is the point which is in this sutra. I hope you are clear. So what will remain then? Adrishya, Anatme, Anirukta, Anilayan. This Brahma, Sajati, Vijati, Swagat, Bhed, Shunya, Brahma would be there. Okay. Then what will happen then? Then no fear will be there. Atha so abhayam gato bhavati. Why? Because fear is always with something else other than you. See what is written? Yada hi eva esha etasmin udaramantaram kurte atatasya bhayam bhavati. Udaram means little also. If little difference is there, then there is a fear. So I, world, God, all have dissolved into Brahman. Is the same defect is there or what? Sure. Hello. Monkeys are defective now. So this Upanishad talks about the resolution of the world. And also this Upanishad talks about the dissolution of Panchkosh. See, yesterday I showed you also. So, asmat lokat pretyai tamannamayamatmanam upasankramati. Ektam pranamayamatmanam upasankramati. Etam manumayamatmanam upasankramati. Eighth word. Etam vijnanayamatmanam upasankramati. And last, but most important, Etam anandamayamatmanam upasankramati. So you are saying that the Anandamaya Atma also goes back to that Brahman. This is the crux of this sutra. The dissolver and dissolved will never be one and the same. See the word here, asminnasya cha tad yogam shasti. So twice it has been said. So Upanishad talks about the proper dissolution. Okay. So pravilapit, Anandmaya is pravilapit, dissolved, and pravilapak is Brahman. Dissolver is the Brahman. And hence both cannot be same. And hence Anandmaya na Brahma. Kimartham? Brahmani pravilapitatvat. Because it is getting dissolved in the Brahman. Anandmaya na Brahma. Kimartham? What is the hetu? Brahmani pravilapitatvat. It is the vilapit. It is the dissolved. Well, it's so difficult. No, what is difficult? What is difficult? No difficulty. You have to have lot of love for knowledge. Gyan ras is required. Amras? Gyan ras, not out. No, I thought you were saying Amras is required. No, I said Gyan ras. I didn't know Amras, etc. In our area, when we were born, Amras was not popular. So when I went to ashram, Bombay is very Amras area. So Amras, then I said, "Acha, ye bhi hota hai kuch." So they said that your buckets of Amras will be served. So they brought Amras in the ashram. Then I discovered, and still my taste is not developed. Still I don't like Amras. Oh, I did not know that. And that Amras and Pudi was the combination. Amras and Pudi. Similarly, Srikhand. Srikhand is a Gujarati dish. In Bombay, it is very, very commonly used. Srikhand also came in dash. Here, Srikhand is not very popular, but you get in the shops. But if you go to Gujarati houses for Bhiksha, definitely Srikhand is the main thing. There also it must be there. You cannot eat too much of Srikhand. And don't eat, please. Because it is very concentrated form of curd. It definitely will take you to laziness and sleep. Already laziness is there. So, yes, it is very, very strong. You must be getting there also, Srikhand. Now it has become everybody is there. But earlier it was mainly Gujaratis and Maharashtrians. Similarly, Amras also. So our side was not very popular, Amras, etc. Mule, where is the topic where you are taking? This is called interval, don't worry. Because you'll get bored. So now let me go to the word. Let us go to the word analysis. This way you will feel Brahma Sutra is very good. I never thought it is so interesting. When Vrinda went to Bombay to meet Guruji. After the course, she went there. So Guruji met. You know what answer? Question here. Did you hear Brahma Sutra? Was it taught? And Vrinda is Vrinda. She gave a good reply. She said, yes, we were taught. 4 sutras were taught. These are the 4 sutras. So now you can say, no, 19 sutras we have now. Okay. So now let us see the word meaning. Please see the word meaning. What is the word meaning? Asmin asya cha tad yogam shasti. Now separately write all 4 words. Asmin asya cha tad yogam shasti. So what is the meaning of the word asmin? Asmin means asmin prakarane, in this context. Which context? Brahmanand Valyam. So asmin means Brahmanand Valyam Anandamay Koshasya Brahmana cha Mimamsa. So in this topic of Brahmananda Valli, where I am talking of where I was talking of Anandamaya Kosh and Brahma Mimamsa. Both are being differentiated. Not in some other Upanishad we are talking about. Because Vishavakya is there with every Adhikaran. Every Adhikaran is taking one Upanishad and a specific subject in that Upanishad. So this is the subject matter. So this is the meaning of Asmin. Now Asya means what? Asya. As means Anandamayasya. Anandamayasya. So Asmin Asya Anandamayasya. Cha means Cha means also. Cha means also. Asmin Asya Cha Anandamayasya. Not only, also I are saying also, not only Annamaya, Pranamaya, etc., but Anandamaya also. Then Tad Yogam. So please note, here Yogam means Layam, Laya. And Tad means Brahmani. Tasmin Brahmani Layaha. Yoga. Tasmin Brahmani Yoga means Layaha. Yoga means to become one. So Laya is the one through which we can become one. So Tasmin Brahmani Layaha. Of the Anandamaya Kosh. So in this Prakaran, the dissolution of the Anandamaya Kosh in the Brahman. I hope it is clear. So Tad means Tasmin Brahmani. Tasmin Brahmani. Yoga means Layaha. Whose Laya? Of Anandamaya Kosh. Asya. Where? In this Prakarana of Brahmanand only. Shasti. Shasti means teaches, dictates. Hare who? Then you supply Upanishad Shasti. Upanishad Shasti. I hope it is clear now. So 4-5 words in the sutra is considered a long sutra now. It is considered a long sutra. Now lamba sutra ho gaya. Gatitvacha. This is okay now. So Asmin Asya Tad Yogam Shasti. So Upanishad you can use that Adhyar. You can put the Upanishad word here. So I hope this is clear now. So in this Chando, in this Upanishad, which Upanishad? Taittiriya Upanishad. In this chapter of the Upanishad, this Upanishad teaches the dissolution of the Anandamaya Kosh, apart from other Kosh, because the Jagada is with this only. The problem was with this only. Vedam Vyas Bhagavan is taking those points in which there is a possibility of doubt. Because these are the points which Purvapaksh picks up. To establish Brahman is different, Jagat is different, Anand is different. He is trying to create some Dvait somewhere, and therefore a Dvait principle has to be propounded. I hope this much is clear. And this completes our Anandamaya Prakaranam of the Brahma Sutra. But don't think I have yet to go to the 5-part Sangati Vishay. That I will see tomorrow. Okay. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.